RiverBender.com's live coverage of today's game is brought to you by Jack Schmidt Chevrolet, the #1 GM certified dealer in Southern Illinois. Olin Community Credit Union, exceeding member expectations since 1934. Tycon Builders, 25 years of quality construction services. Alton Memorial Hospital, the best health care close to home. United Methodist Village, where living is easy. Tom Lane State Farm, your good neighbor agent in the Riverbend. Roberts Ford, the value store since 1949. Weber Granite City Chevrolet, Buy American. Gerard Fisher, American Family Insurance, all your protection under one roof.
Defense out on the field to start off the game, and if the quarterback was feeling good about his pregame warm-ups, he's going to have to wait just a little bit longer. Hopefully that won't come into play. We'll find out here shortly as the special teams are on the field and just about ready to fire this one up tonight.
Yeah, Cahokia offense not very potent in that first ball game. Only 8 points on the board, but they did win that ball game.
And when you look back on it, it's only the wins and losses that count. So there you go. Speaking of wins and losses, the Missouri Tigers and the Fighting Illini on our radio tomorrow beginning at 2 o'clock. Can the Illini do it? Our listeners think so.
We got so much football this weekend.
Pretty much every team except for Civic Memorial, which is going to be way out on the road, will have coverage of. Later on tonight, as a matter of fact.
Oilers at Litchfield after this one. Redbirds teeing up and get set to kick things off here to start the home opener here at Public School Stadium. It'll be Morgan Carell set to kick things off. Return man stands at the goal line for Cahokia. Looks like number 32, Rodney Scott, on the goal line. Short kick, he'll come up to the 15, take it at the 20, across the 25 to the 30-yard line. A little move there, and he's knocked down before he gets to the 35. So Cahokia will start at about the 33-yard line, 1st and 10 on the right hash mark.
We'll give the tackle to Dontavier Thompson. Thompson, a 6'1" junior. Where's number 30 for the Redbirds?
Patrick Ivey in the huddle with his troops, and he'll bring them to the line here. 1st and 10 from the right hash mark for the Comanches from the 33-yard line. Two receivers split out to the left side. The running back standing to the left of Ivey from the shotgun, dropping straight back, looking right. Now firing it across the middle, complete, wide open, and dropped. He had that in his hands, but he dropped it right at the center field stripe.
He had to come back for the ball just a little bit, was not able to make the correction on his route, and that would have been a big gain. There was no Redbirds within probably 15 yards of your receiver.
I thought for sure he was going to pull that one in, and it just come off his hands and his shoulder pads to the ground. So that sets up 2nd down and 10 for the Comanches, just underway. Ivey from the shotgun again. High snap, pulls it down. Now he's going to sprint out to the left side. Pressured there. Tries to turn the corner. Gets to the 30 and knocked out of bounds before he gets to the 35-yard line. Pickup of about 2 yards. And it's going to set up 3rd down at about 7.
He was almost brought down in the backfield, but the straight arm shed the potential tackler that time. He was finally brought down by Cody Calvert, who wears number 24 for the Redbirds, a 5'11" senior.
They'll mark it all the way out to the 36-yard line. I thought they had him stopped before he got to the 35, but they'll give him forward progress to the 36 to set up a 3rd down and 6 situation. Now on the left hash mark for the Comanches. Running back will set up to the right of Patrick Ivey, and that's Joe Grinston. High snap, and Ivey pulls it out, fires it out in the flat, complete. And out to the midfield stripe is the receiver for the Comanches. There's a flag on the field.
Could not see who made the tackle on the far side, but that entire play may come back as the flags were right at the snap. We may have had motion on the Comanches part.
Redbirds signaling they want to push the Comanches back as the penalty against Cahokia here.
So they'll send them back and make it a 3rd and about 12, 3rd and 11, 3rd and 12, something like that.
Well, the Comanches with another receiver open there, and we've seen a couple of receivers now wide open for the Comanches. The first one dropped a pass. That one they were able to complete, but it's going to be called back here with a penalty, so the Redbirds need to tighten up the coverage just a bit.
They do. They need to make some adjustments. And they need to make it soon because it's not going to be long before they're going to get burned if they let that slide.
That'll push him back to the 31-yard line to set up a 3rd down and 11 situation here for the Comanches. They'll send 3 receivers split out to the left side. Ivey in the shotgun. The running back standing to his right. And he's looking left, firing that way, completing it at the 40, up to the 45-yard line. The ball fumbled and picked up by the Redbirds.
Right there on the coverage, and Xavier Triplett picks up the loose ball. Number 13, Xavier Triplett, the junior. And boy, what a good break for the Alton High Redbirds.
Completed that pass to Brad Schmidt at Ivey, and then he had it knocked out of his hands, and the Redbirds will pick it up 1st and 10, and they've got a couple of breaks here early on.
They certainly have, and they need to be able to capitalize on these breaks because Cahokia is a well-coached team, and they won't make them all game long. If they make any more, I'd be surprised.
Devin Williams will give it to the fullback, and they'll pound him all the way up to the 35-yard line, just shy of a Redbird 1st down. That is number 3, Taylor Vaughn, and we'll hear his name a lot tonight, 5'10", 200-pound fullback.
That was just a sea of red surging forward and a sea of white making the tackle. Couldn't pick out any numbers on that play.
That offensive line just blowing the Comanches off the ball that time. Williams under center. Vaughn behind him takes the handoff again. He's hit immediately, but works his way across the 35 up to the 34-yard line to set up a 3rd down and short situation.
About 5 Comanches in on the tackle that time. We'll give it to Morris Hobson, the tackle. Where's number 50? He is a senior for Cahokia, 215 pounds.
We'll see if that offensive line can continue to drive the Comanches back here on 3rd down and short. Redbirds looking for their first down of the night. Williams under center, double tight, double wing. Hook lines up on the right side. Here's a man in motion, and the handoff will go to him. Turning it up, and not much running room there. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. He may be shy of the 1st down. We'll see where they mark it, but it looks like he's going to squirm forward just enough to get the 1st down.
Several Comanches in on the tackle, and Cedric Gibson was the one on the bottom of the pile, so I'll give him the tackle credit for that.
They're going to mark it just shy of the 1st down marker. It'll be 4th down and short now. The Redbirds elect to go for it.
You're going to have to go for it. It's right in that middle ground where if you punt it away, you're going to punt it into the end zone and bring it back out to the 20. And if you go for the field goal and don't make it, you've got him at the 35. So you've got to go for it.
Official timeout on the field. On that last carry for the Redbirds was number 12, Lewis McCain, a senior at 6 foot, 195 pounds. He lines up on the left side as a wingback. Jake Hook will line up on the right side as a wingback. The fullback, Vaughn, directly behind the quarterback, Devin Williams, who climbs under center.
I suspect we'll see that offensive line surge.
There's Devin Williams on the keeper, and he's going to take it all the way up to the 30-yard line for the 1st down easily for the Redbirds. And there's that offensive line surge again as they celebrate.
They might just want to do that the whole game. That was a very successful couple of plays there during that opening series. Pick up of 4 yards. They just needed a few inches, and they wound up with about 4-yard gain.
Redbirds now 1st and 10. The ball at the 30-yard line. 9:02 and ticking on the clock as Williams climbs under center. Vaughn directly behind him. Wingbacks to the left and right. In motion, the left side fake to him, and Williams going to throw. Down the sidelines has Hook, but overthrows him incomplete.
In and out of his hands. He had to dive a little bit for the ball, and he's just pounding on the grass. He knew that he had a touchdown if he could have brought that one in.
That ball just thrown a little bit too far out in front of him, about a step too far, and Hook couldn't pull it in. That'll bring up 2nd down, but a good idea for the Redbirds there just to go for the end zone.
First time they put it in the air. And I tell you what, Hook was in double coverage, but he had some room to work with had he been able to bring it in.
Double tight, double wing again. McCain on the left side, Hook on the right side. Vaughn directly behind the quarterback, Devin Williams, who climbs under center, sends McCain in motion. Hands it off to the fullback, up the gut. There's Vaughn pounding over the Comanches down to the 25-yard line.
And he absolutely leveled the defender that was there to greet him. That was number 8, I believe, Jimmy Hunt for Cahokia. That we'll give him credit for the tackle, but he just happened to be there when the train ran over him.
to the 25-yard line. 3rd down and 5 now for the Redbirds. They line back up in that double tight, double wing with McCain on the left and Hook on the right side. Taylor Vaughn directly behind Williams, who climbs under center. Williams will send Hook in motion, and they'll give it to Vaughn. Vaughn will work his way forward for about a yard or so. It looked like the option play there as Williams almost pulled that ball back out of the gut of Vaughn, but elected to let Vaughn have it.
Yeah, it didn't wind up with much, if anything, there. But we do have a flag on the play. Okay, I was reading that wrong, apparently.
No flag. It'll bring up 4th down and 4 for the Redbirds. Double tight, double wing again. Hook on the right side, McCain on the left. Vaughn directly behind Williams, under center, sends McCain in motion, and will roll right. Hit immediately and dropped all the way back to the 32-yard line. The blitz coming that time by Cahokia, and they stop the Redbirds.
And boy, he got through that offensive line quickly. He being Broden, D'Amico Broden, number 11 for Cahokia. And that'll turn the ball back over. So a couple of unsuccessful series for both teams here to start off the game.
Redbirds unable to capitalize on the turnover, and they'll give it right back to the Comanches now, who have it 1st and 10 from the 32-yard lines. They line up on the left hash mark. Patrick Ivey from the shotgun again. Waits on the snap. Now dropping straight back, firing it out to the right side. Has a man wide open. He'll pull it down and work his way across the 45 and stop just shy of the 50-yard line.
A couple of nice moves after he received the ball to pick up probably another 5 yards. And we'll credit the tackle to number 24, Coldy Calvert.
Kyrie Beckley on the reception for the Comanches. 1st and 10 now as the ball marked out at the 47-yard line.
And again, you saw on that pass play that there was nary a Redbird around within 10 to 15 yards on the reception.
4 receivers in the set. Ivey firing it across the middle, completing again. A wide open receiver at the 40 will work his way down to the 35-yard line, and that is Lamontez Ivey on the reception.
Took about 3 or 4 Redbirds to bring him down. And again, let's call Coldy Calvert's number.
Ball out to the Redbird 35-yard line. 1st and 10. Ivey, a straight drop back. Another man open right in the middle of the field. It's Ivey again. He's close to another Comanche 1st down out near the 25. I believe he got enough.
Ivey to Ivey. I would suspect they've played catch before.
Patrick to Lamontez. And I bet the Comanches have another 1st down, and they do signal 1st down now. And once again, another wide open receiver for the Comanches. They had a couple guys wide open that time.
And, it doesn't look like it's blown coverage. It looks like that the Redbirds are just not prepared for what Cahokia is throwing at them right now.
Here's a pass to Lamontez Ivey at the 20. It's completed, and he steps out of bounds at about the 19. That'll set up a 2nd down and 4 situation.
This may work into the Redbird situation now that the field has been shortened. They don't have quite as much room to go down and get open. So with the shortening of the field, this may be a blessing in disguise.
2nd down and 4 for the Comanches with 6:34 on the clock from the Redbird 19-yard line. Patrick Ivey waits on the snap, and he'll fire it out in the flat, completing it. Beckley there. Beckley with his move across the 15 down to the 10 as a flag flies as he's brought down to the ground.
Flag flying in the backfield, that would indicate to me a possible holding penalty.
I think you're right on that one. Kyrie Beckley on the reception for the Comanches, and it is holding against Cahokia.
So that'll basically take all the yardage they got on 1st down away, make it a 2nd down, and right now they're signaling about a 2nd down and 12.
It's like 2nd down and 12 as the penalty marked off from the point of the infraction, a 10-yard penalty. Backs them up to the 12. Or backs them up to 3rd and 12 from the 27. Ivey waits on the snap from the shotgun. A high snap, pulls it down, looking right. Now throwing it out there, has a man, and it's overthrown, incomplete, and that'll bring up 3rd down.
Good grief, that guy has an arm on him. He basically just lobbed it up like you and I would throw a piece of garbage to the garbage can. Threw it a good 30 yards without breaking a sweat.
I was going to say, I don't think I can get it 2 yards to a garbage can.
Well, luckily we have one right behind us now, so we can be tidy here this evening.
And he did. He just, with ease. There wasn't even any effort involved in throwing that ball 35 yards.
Yeah, he was backpedaling. He was off balance, and he just chucked the thing, and it went.
3rd down and 11 now for the Comanches. 3 receivers off to the right side. Ivey looking that way. Now looking left. Now pressured. Rolling left. Firing it downfield. Has a man in the end zone, but going to throw it too far out of bounds. Incomplete, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Even if the receiver would have brought it down, he was in the process of heading out of bounds. I don't think he could have brought it back in with any success. So the Redbirds may have dodged another bullet, although they still have 1 play left to go here on 4th down.
4th down coming up for the Comanches at the 6:02 mark of quarter number 1. The ball at the 27-yard line. 4th down and a long 11 coming up for the Comanches. See what they elect to do, and it looks like their punter on the field, and now they're going to take a timeout. Timeout on the field, 6:02 on the clock. First quarter action. You're listening to 1570 Radio Sports.
Are you retired and considering moving to a condominium? Before you do, compare the cost of living in Villa Rose Senior Living Community to the cost of owning a condo. At Villa Rose, there's no real estate taxes and high grocery prices to pay.
And we'll hand it off. First man through and nowhere to go again. Stopped at the line of scrimmage, and that's going to bring up 3rd down.
Once again, a host of Comanches, or a host of Comanches there to stop the run, and don't know who to give credit to that one. Maybe Jimmy Hunt. We'll give Jimmy Hunt credit for that tackle.
3rd down and 10 now coming up for the Redbirds from the 1. They haven't been able to do much here in this series. In motion. Back will take the handoff, and he'll fumble it forward. Now picked up by the Comanches down at the 1. So the Redbirds lose the football. It was Brian Proctor on the carry that time, and just as he got across the line of scrimmage, grabbed from behind, and it looked like he almost lateraled that ball forward, just losing it, and it's picked up by the Comanches.
It certainly didn't look like a normal fumble. It did look like he was trying to get rid of the ball and try to lateral it, and I'm not sure if he got hit and spun around to where the ball did go forward, but the bottom line is whatever was meant to happen didn't, and now the Comanches have the ball very close to the goal line. It's first and goal at the 1.
We haven't seen the Comanches put the football on the ground yet. All passing plays for Cahokia as they send 3 receivers out to the left side, and Ivey going to go from the shotgun here at the 1. The running back standing to his right, and Ivey looking now, going to roll out, has a man in the end zone, and completes it for the touchdown.
He was being covered by the 11, Darian Scruggs, and Scruggs just was unable to get into position in time.
Jimmy Hunt pulls down the touchdown pass from Patrick Ivey to put Cahokia on the board. 6-0.
6-0, closing in. We've got 4:29 on the clock right now. And our first score of the game, a little bit later in the first quarter than I would have suspected. Both teams had opportunities in their opening drives, but were unable to capitalize.
Brad Schmidt on to attempt the extra point for Cahokia. Here's a snap back. It's down. The kick is up and on the way, and it is through the uprights to add on the extra point for Cahokia, who now leads the Alton Redbirds 7-0 with 4:29 on the clock. You're listening to 1570 Radio Sports.
There's a long pass. It looks like it's going to be overthrown. Oh, the receiver dashes under the ball and makes the catch. Touchdown!
Where did he get that extra burst of speed? That off-season training really paid off.
Alton Memorial Hospital's Human Motion Institute Sports Performance helps athletes maximize their potential and improve their game. With sports performance training, you'll leap higher, run faster, and throw farther. Learn more at altonmemorialhospital.org. Human Motion Institute Sports Performance, building better athletes.
The more your life changes, the more your insurance needs change. I'm Gerard Fisher of American Family Insurance. In just minutes, I can conduct a free personal insurance review to help you determine how much and what type of coverage is right for you, with no costly gaps or overlaps. Interested? Call me, Gerard Fisher of American Family Insurance, today at 466-7062.
American Family Insurance.
Welcome back to Public School Stadium at Alton. Dennis Laird alongside Doug Jenkins on a Friday night.
What a beautiful night it is, too. Daytime high around 82 degrees or so.
Just outstanding weather in the Riverbend this summer. Here's the kick fielded at the 10-yard line by the Redbirds, and out to the 15 near the 20 is the return man. And that's where the Redbirds will start, 1st and 10.
Nice little return by the Redbirds, brought down at the 20-yard line by number 44. Or number 24, 54, I'm sorry, 54, Dominic Cozart.
Proctor on the return for the Redbirds. Brian Proctor, a junior at 5'11", 185 pounds.
Proctor took a gamble that there was going to be a hole open up in front of him.
And the Redbirds will start on the 20, 1st and 10. The running back lining up directly behind the quarterback. Williams under center. And the handoff will go to the fullback, who'll work his way across the 20-yard line. Not much there. Number 28 on the carry, William Lewis for the Redbirds.
D'Amico Broden on the tackle. First one in, number 12, or number 11 rather, for Cahokia.
2nd down and 9 now coming up for the Redbirds.
You know, it's not like Alton has a small team, but just looking down there, you can see Cahokia has a bit of a size advantage on them.
Williams back to the line of scrimmage. Lewis directly behind him. Hook a wing back on the right side in motion. And the handoff will go to Lewis. Lewis sticks his head down and picks up about a yard before he's stopped, and that's going to bring up 3rd down.
Tackle by committee. That time by Cahokia. The Comanches all getting in on it. Most of them getting in on it. Clock continues to tick. We're inside 3.5 minutes to play in this first quarter.
3rd down and 6 now. Coming up for the Redbirds as they'll send a receiver split out to the left side. Another to the right side. Williams climbs under center. William Lewis directly behind him. And dropping back is Williams, throwing it down into double coverage and overthrowing his intended receiver incomplete. And that's going to bring up 4th down now for the Redbirds.
That was almost picked off by, who is that down there? That looks like Jimmy Hunt. And boy, we've called his name a lot so far tonight.
Jimmy Hunt, the man who caught the touchdown pass for the Comanches tonight, and he's played well on defense too.
Between Hunt and the 2 Ivies, they've been getting a lot of touches tonight.
Redbirds will punt it away. The punter stands at the 10. Turn man back near the 35 of Cahokia. Low snap. And Vaughn gets the punt off. A line drive punt that's going to take a big-time Alton Redbird roll and roll all the way down to the Comanche 25-yard line. The Redbirds with a break on that punt.
Doesn't matter if it gets there in the air or on the ground. They got the yardage out of it that they needed and worked out well for them.
That ball probably traveled only 20 yards in the air and then probably about 35 on the ground.
It tumbled well, didn't it?
So the Comanches will take over 1st and 10 from their own 25-yard line, leading 7-0 with 2:49 on the clock here in the first quarter.
Comanches have a long way to go. And we'll see if the Redbirds can put a halt to any progress they try and make.
Comanches will line up with 3 receivers off to the left side. Ivey back in the shotgun with a running back next to him. And he'll fake it to him. Now looking, is pressured, will step out of the pocket, has some running room with a move. Works his way to the 30 and drops the football. Red jersey's there and a white one as well. And we'll see who come out of that pile with the football. And it looks like the Redbirds will get it.
Very lucky break by the Redbirds. Ivey not known for letting the football go. He's got a big reputation as a high-order scrambler. If he doesn't see anything, he can usually make something happen, but what he made happen that time was a nice little run followed by a fumble, and back to the Redbirds the ball goes.
Second takeaway now for the Redbirds. Were unable to capitalize the first time they picked up the fumble. We'll see if they can turn things around here on this drive as Williams climbs under center, 1st and 10 from the 32, and the pitch goes to the wingback. Coming around, it will hurdle the 30-yard line and get up to about the 28, and that is number 23, Thomas Gant, on the carry.
Actually, I've got Jacoby Womack as number 23.
You're right.
And Jacoby Womack is a senior this year. It's a name that we've become quite familiar with over the last few years doing Alton Redbirds football.
And he'll line up on the right wingback position. Lewis, the fullback, behind Williams, and they'll give it to Womack again. And Womack will step up to the 25 before he's knocked down. That's going to bring up 3rd down.
Womack tackled by a host of Cahokia Comanches. Jamaica Broden, I believe, again.
3rd down and 3 now coming up for the Redbirds as Williams trots from the sideline with the play. Minute 35 to go first quarter. Redbirds trailing 7-0. Their home opener here at Public School Stadium. Redbirds looking for victory number 1 on the season, but trail to the Comanches. Lewis directly behind Williams. Man in motion. And broken play, but the quarterback, Williams, is going to turn it on across the 20-yard line and pick up the 1st down. Looked like he wanted to give that ball to Lewis. They kind of collided in the backfield, and then Williams able to make something happen as he gets all the way across the 20.
Ivey's not the only scrambler out there tonight, obviously, and a nice pickup of about 5 yards.
So the Redbirds with a 1st down, now inside the red zone at the 19-yard line, 1st and 10. They line up near the right hash mark. The quarterback under center, Williams, with Lewis directly behind him, the fullback. Man in motion and dropping back as Williams pressured. He's in trouble, and he will be knocked down at the 30-yard line.
Williams almost got out of that. He just about had broken the grip from the Cahokia Comanche that had him wrapped up. But in came another one, and that was all she wrote.
10-yard loss on the quarterback's sack. Make it an 11-yard loss, actually, to set up a 2nd down and 21. The clock down to 35 seconds to go here in the quarter. Clock down to 30 now as the Redbirds take their time getting to the line of scrimmage. They're there now, and they'll line up here with less than 20 seconds to play in the quarter. Williams under center. Lewis directly behind him as Williams sends a man in motion and is going to roll out to the right side, looking down the field and firing it short and incomplete, trying to get Womack there. And that'll stop the clock with 7.1 seconds to go in the quarter, and 3rd down and 21 coming up for the Redbirds.
Smart play out there. The receiver was in double coverage, possibly triple coverage, depending on how you count it. And Jimmy Hunt for Cahokia was right there, and he's done enough damage to the Redbirds so far tonight.
So the Redbirds will face 3rd down and 21 with 7.1 ticks left here in the first quarter. We'll see what they elect to do here. Put the ball up the last 2 times and have an incomplete pass and a sack to show for it. As Williams comes up to the line of scrimmage. Lewis directly behind him. In motion is Womack to the left side, and Williams looking that way as he drops back. Firing it downfield, has Womack, but overthrows him, and that one almost picked off by Hunt, incomplete.
And that, well, I was going to say that did it, but it didn't quite do it. We still have a half second left to play here in the first quarter.
0.5 on the clock. Here in the first quarter with the Redbirds trailing 7-0. And they're facing 4th down and 21. Looks like the punting unit trotting onto the field here is Taylor Vaughn out for the Redbirds.
Well, to try a field goal from this distance would be about a 45-yarder. And I'm not sure if that would be something they'd want to try at this point, so they will try the punt.
Vaughn waits at the Comanche 42-yard line for the snap, and it's a high one over his head. Back to the midfield stripe, and Vaughn going to have to dive on it at the Redbird 45-yard line, and that is how the quarter will come to an end. A high snap, and the Comanche is going to have outstanding field position to start the second quarter. They lead 7-0 over the Redbirds. You're listening to 1570 Radio Sports.
Supplier Pricing Plus at the East Side's newest and one of the largest Chevy dealerships, Jack Schmidt Chevy of Wood River, with 14 acres of selection and more selection. Now all with Supplier Pricing Plus. Save $8,165 on a new 09 half-ton Silverado. A new 09 Malibu LS, just $18,600. Hit the road with Jack Schmidt, with over 14 acres of service, selection, and savings.
Hit the road with Jack
Schmidt Chevy,
Jack Schmidt.
Wood River, Illinois.
Life is busy, and that's a good thing. Olin Community Credit Union helps me keep up with convenient checking services like free online banking and bill pay, 5 area locations, and free ATMs. They even provide extra deposit insurance to keep my money safe and sound. I know I can count on them, and that helps me give 100% to the people who are counting on me. Call Olin Community Credit Union today or visit them online at olincreditunion.org. Trust me, you'll be glad you did.
Welcome back to Alton's Public School Stadium. Dennis Laird alongside Doug Jenkins.
I am truly amazed, Dennis, at the low score that we have here so far. Both teams have some firepower. Both teams have committed some errors tonight. And right now we have just one score. It's a 7-0 ball game as we start quarter number 2 with Cahokia leading the way.
And they start in Redbird territory at the 45-yard line. 1st and 10 as Ivey stands at the midfield stripe to wait on the snap from the shotgun. Now he'll move a receiver to the right side. 4 receivers on that side as Ivey dropping back. And he hits a man coming across the middle at the 30 to the 25 and down to the 19. Another fumble, and I think the Redbirds have come up with another one. And they have.
Wow.
Joe Grinston, the receiver who coughs up the football for the Comanches. And the Comanches have butter on their fingers tonight. 3rd time they fumbled.
Well, you know, that is not something that we're used to seeing a lot of out of the Comanches, at least me personally, not used to seeing them have such a loose handle on the ball. But good for the Redbirds. They get a chance to start over just about where they were backed up to the last time.
1st and 10 for the Redbirds now. From the 20-yard line, their own 20. Just underway second quarter, they trail 7-0. And a misdirection handed off to Womack. He's got running room, and he's going to be dropped, though, and ended up losing a yard or 2. He got around the end and had some open field, but then stopped before he could cross the line of scrimmage.
That was Jimmy Hunt with the spear. We'll call it the spear.
Okay.
Kind of like Goldberg if you're a wrestling fan.
I think that's illegal, the spear.
Well, not not in the most literal sense of the word, but,
okay.
You know, I'm taking an announcer's liberty at the moment.
Okay, liberty for you.
Liberty denied.
So we are ready to go 2nd and 7. Here's a pass play as Williams looking for Hook, and Hook can't hold on. And he's hammered after missing that pass, but Hook right back up on his feet. He's a tough one.
He is a tough one, and looks like the defender, who took a little bit of time to get back up, is shaking it off right now.
So that'll bring up 3rd down and 12 now for the Redbirds. 11:07 on the clock here. Second quarter action as they'll send a receiver split wide right. Another receiver comes to the left side. McCain will line up as a wingback on that side. Hook on the right side as the wingback. Evan Williams under center, dropping straight back. Looking, pressured, and he'll just unload that and get hammered and dropped to the turf. Nobody there where he was throwing it, but no flags on the field, and that'll bring up 4th down.
4th down, the Redbirds will kick it away again. Let's see if they can get the Comanches to loosen up on the possession again and maybe turn it over. Cahokia has turned it over 3 times so far tonight, I believe.
Comanches coming with the blitz again, and it pays off for him as they put the pressure on Williams, and he has to unload that one. Now brings up 4th down and 12 And there's Vaughn back onto the field to do the punting for the Redbirds. He'll line up at his 5-yard line. Official timeout on the field. Redbirds having trouble with the snap the last time they were in punt formation. And they really need a good snap here at their own 5. There's a high snap, but Vaughn pulls it down and gets it off. And a good punt. Drives the return man back to the 45, and good coverage downfield as a tackle made down near the 40.
Very, very good coverage by the Alton Redbirds, and let's give credit where credit is due. That was Xavier Triplett, or his number 13. He's a junior, 5'9", 170 pounds, and he was right there on the coverage, and he just dropped the Comanche like a bad habit.
They'll give him forward progress out to the 45 of the Comanches, and that's where Cahokia will start 1st and 10 with 10:54 on the clock here in the second quarter. And the Comanches having some success getting receivers open. They just can't hold on to the football tonight.
Yeah, whatever's going on, they need to get some of that sticky goo that the Raiders used to use back in the late 70s, early 80s.
That is illegal too, Doug. All right, here's a sack by the Redbirds, and a big-time sack driving them back across the 40-yard line.
So no spearing, no sticky goo.
No stick 'em. No.
Well, lucky for the Redbirds, they have a very pumped-up defense right now.
Calvin Owens with the sack that time. Calvin Owens, a sophomore at 6'3", 250.
Well, after that punt where Triplett just dropped the Comanche, you could almost feel the adrenaline moving its way through the Redbird bench, through the crowd.
Comanches at 2nd and 15 now. Here's Ivey under center, and he's going to pitch it. And there's Beckley trying to get around the end, and he will be stopped at the 41-yard line. Excuse me, that's Grinston on the carry.
Redbird defense has definitely kicked it up a notch. Triplett out there, credit on the tackle as well. And you can see him jumping around down there. He's got a lot of energy trying to keep it all in check.
3rd down and 14 now for the Comanches. Redbirds changing some personnel on defense as they get ready for this 3rd down and 14 situation. With the clock ticking at 9:30, second quarter. 5 receivers in the set for the Comanches as Ivey waits in the shotgun. At the 35, bad snap, but he's going to pull it down. And now roll right. Looking downfield and firing it complete at the 45 and still on his feet across the 50 into Redbird territory down to about the 48-yard line. Number 32, Rodney Scott.
And there's probably 3, maybe 4 missed tackles, and it's not because of lack of effort. He was just making some great moves out there to elude the Redbird defense. Finally bringing him down with Xavier Triplett.
4th down and 4 now coming up for the Comanches, and they will go for it as they are just into Redbird territory at about the 47. And it looks like this time Ivey going to line up under center. And a quick hitter. He has his man at the 40, out to the 30-yard line, all the way down to the 25, completed to Donald Collier as they just go with the quick hitter right off the line of scrimmage. Hit him as he takes about 2 steps, just a quick hitter from the quarterback.
It worked, picked up a bunch of yards. Cody Calvert finally brings him down. Cody Calvert, number 24 for the Redbird, the senior.
1st and 10 now, all the way down to the Redbird 25. 8:20 and ticking on the clock. Second quarter action. Ivey back in the shotgun now. Now he's going to call up under center. 2 receivers to his left and 2 to his right. They'll drop straight back. Pressured there. Now rolling out to his left, looking downfield, letting it fly, and this will go out of the back of the end zone.
Went way out of the back of the end zone.
Good pressure that time by the Redbirds, but this Ivory kid is not fazed by pressure.
Doesn't seem to be. Eric Weaver was giving him chase, and at 5'11", 215 pounds, he is a bit of a overbearing force if you're looking down the barrel. But again, Ivey was unshaken.
Patrick Ivey, very smooth back there at the quarterback position. They'll send 2 receivers out to the left side, 2 to the right. Single back behind him as he climbs under center. Ivey with a straight drop. Now looking out in the flat. Now he's going to go back downfield. Right side, firing it complete. Down to the 10-yard line, all the way down to the 5 is number 2, Kyrie Beckley. And Beckley makes a nice run after the catch.
And all of a sudden, Triplett is just all over the place. That's another tackle for him.
The ball down to the 6-yard line now. 1st and goal, and the Cahokias go to the Comanches go to the no huddle. Patrick Ivey takes the snap and hands it off to Scott. Scott with a move at the 5, down to the 2-yard line. Stop there, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
Tackled by number 24 for the Redbirds, Cody Calvert. Cahokia threatening to put another 6 points on the board.
They'll mark it at the 1, so it'll be 2nd and goal from the 1-yard line. Ivey over to the sidelines to get the play. Now back in the huddle. Comanches on the goal line, threatening to score again, up 7-0. They line up in the shotgun. Scott stands to the right of Ivey. And they'll fake it to him and throwing it in the corner and completing it. Beckley will pull it down for the touchdown.
He was being covered by Anthony Brownlee, but Brownlee didn't blow the coverage. The receiver just jumped a little bit higher. And that's another 6 points. For those of you listening at home, visualize the last scoring play of the most recently completed Super Bowl where the Steelers beat the Arizona Cardinals. It resembled that.
That was a long time ago. I'm trying to visualize, though.
Not as far ago as when they allowed Stickum, though.
The Cardinals were in the Super Bowl?
The Arizona Cardinals.
No way. I think that was a vision, and I don't know. Somebody might have been on something. Anyways, here it is, the extra point attempt, and it's through the uprights and good to make it 14-0 in favor of the Comanches with 6:59 on the clock, 2nd quarter action. You're listening to 1570 Radio Sports.
If you haven't driven a Ford, drive one. You'll be surprised.
Drive green in the 09 Ford Focus. All new design, up to 35 miles per gallon, and it talks. Drive smart in the 09 Fusion, a Consumer Digest Best Buy. Drive safe in the Ford Escape, equipped with roll stability control and Ford's personal safety system. Drive quality in the 09 Edge, voted the most appealing midsize CUV by J.D. Power. Come in today and drive one. Roberts Motors, easy to get to, just off Highway 67 or Highway 3 in Alton.
Honey, who does our car insurance?
State Farm.
And what about our house?
State Farm, too.
And what about our life insurance?
Why do you ask?
Well, I've got something to tell you.
Bringing new life into the world is one of many great reasons to talk about life insurance. So contact your State Farm agent today. They'll help you choose the right coverage.
Contact Tom Lane to discuss all of your life insurance needs at 377-8912 across from Gino's 140 Club in Bethalto.
Welcome back to Public School Stadium. Dennis Laird alongside Doug Jenkins, and the Comanches up 14-0 now. 2 one-yard touchdown passes for them, have them up by 14.
The Comanches have done a good job of moving the ball tonight. Haven't done such a good job of holding on to the ball, though. They've had their troubles. Let's see if the Redbirds can make something happen here.
Redbirds bobble the kickoff, but picked up and taken to the 20-yard line, where the Redbirds will start 1st and 10.
That was Brian Proctor on the reception, or not the reception, but the fielding of the kickoff, and just a little bit of trouble there. Redbirds start at the 20.
1st and 10 for the Redbirds. They'll line them up on the left hash mark. 6:52 on the clock. Redbirds moving right to left on your radio dial, if you even have one anymore, because most things are digital.
Or if you're looking at your digital tuner, we're going from the minute side to the hour side.
There you go. Officials still trying to set the football here at the 6:52 mark of the 2nd quarter. And they're ready now.
Or if you're listening to us via AltonDailyNews.com.
There you go. How do you figure that one out?
From the .com over to the Alton.
I got you. Dropping back is Williams and handing it off. Womack works his way across the 20 up to the 25 and stop there. That'll bring up 2nd down.
Yeah, let's say about 5 Cahokia Comanches in on that one. Jimmy Hunt leads the way. And Jimmy Hunt's definitely going to be in the running for the player of the game for the Comanches, as he has done it both on offense and defense.
What if you have like a wireless radio of some sort that picks up a signal off of the internet?
I'll have to think about that one. I'll get back to you after this play.
Okay. 2nd down and 5 for the Redbirds. Double tight, double wing. And movement on the right side for the Redbirds. I think they're going to be called for motion here, and they'll back them up 5. That'll set up 2nd and 10.
All that hard work for nothing.
I don't know what all that fancy equipment they have these days in the wireless mode and the iPods and all that stuff. I still have the old dial in my car.
Likewise.
Cassette deck, remember those?
I've still got a bunch of cassettes. Some of the cassettes have your band on it, as a matter of fact.
Well, I appreciate that.
Yeah. I don't think they play anymore.
We barely do. 1st and 10 for the Redbirds. A handoff will go to the right side this time, and not much running there for Proctor as he's bottled up and stopped. Dropped for a loss. It's going to be 3rd down and 11.
And again, it's Hunt on the tackle. Boy, that Jimmy Hunt's all over the place.
2nd and 11 now coming up for the Redbirds.
You know, we'll be right back here. Well, not you and me, but we, the radio station, will be right back here tomorrow evening for our Marquette Explorers football. We'll tell you more about that later.
All kinds of football the next 2 days here on this Big Z. Williams under center and will turn and hand this one off right up the gut. The fullback nowhere to go as he'll be stopped at the 30. William Lewis on the carry for the Redbirds.
We'll see if forward progress takes him up to the 30. I believe the refs are moving the ball closer to it. But tomorrow night it is Marquette High School football from right here at Public School Stadium once again. 7 o'clock is the kickoff for that.
3rd down and 11 coming up for the Redbirds. Struggling to get the ball moved tonight. They'll send a receiver split wide left as Williams going to climb under center. Fullback directly behind him and 2 wingbacks left and right. 1 in motion. That's Womack. Here's Williams dropping back, pressured and fires it complete. And hammered on the reception is Proctor, but he pulls it in just across the 35 to about the 38. Going to be shy of the 1st down.
Redbirds have seen some success on the pass. Perhaps they need to concentrate on that a little bit more. I'm sure Coach Joe Hook will find out what's working well and what's not. With the charts and the stats and talk it over with his team during intermission and make whatever adjustments need to be done. One adjustment they need to find a way to make is how to keep the ball away from whatever area that number 8, Jimmy Hunt, is covering, because Hunt has been all over it all night long.
Redbirds in punt formation here, facing 4th down and 2 from their own 38-yard line. Good snap back, and the punt high, straight up in the air punt. It's going to take a Redbird slow bounce and roll across the 45 to about the 44-yard line.
It was such a high punt, it didn't have much trajectory at all on the way down, and maybe netted another 3 yards from the place where it initially came down. But hey, yard's a yard.
Once again, the Comanches start with good field position as the ball at their own 44-yard line. They'll have it 1st and 10. 3:39 on the clock, 2nd quarter. Comanches leading 14-0 over the Redbirds. As they send 3 receivers split off to the left side. Ivey back in the shotgun. Running back stands to his right, and Ivey looking left and firing it out there, and Schmidt cannot hold on, but it's caught by number 2, and that is Beckley, I believe. That ball looked like Schmidt come down with it, but he just threw his arms up in the air to act like he was going to catch it, and it ends up in the hands of Beckley, and they get the 1st down.
Nice little diversion for not only the players down there, but for some of us up here in the booth as well.
Totally fooled me. Here's Ivey again from the shotgun. Looking right now, firing it out in the flat. There's Beckley again at the 30. Makes a move and lunges forward. Stop shy of the 25-yard line at about the 26.
Let's credit Thompson, Dentavier Thompson, number 30 for the Redbirds with that one.
stops him shy of the first down marker to set up a 2nd down and 3 situation. 3 minutes to play in the half.
We can hear the Marching 100 beginning to move about in the background. What a nice job they did during pregame, Dennis. Marching 100 always tip-top.
3 receivers off to the right side, and here's a high snap. Ivey pulls down. He's going to launch it down the right side. 2 guys there, and one of them pulls it in. Number 3, and the Comanches signal touchdown. Now the officials make it official and signal the touchdown as well. Donald Collier will pull down that one in the end zone.
Did not have a whole lot of room there in the corner of the end zone, but managed to get both feet in, and there's another score. It's 20-0, and could be 21 if the point after attempt is good.
Redbirds set up, or the Comanches set up for the point after attempt. As the Comanches trying to go up 21-0. Schmidt on to attempt the extra point. They're lined up as he waits on the snap.
Taking their time.
Snap back, and it's a fake. Schmidt with it. Going to fire it and complete it in the end zone on the 2-point conversion. So a fake field goal attempt. They snap it straight back to the kicker, Schmidt, and they'll fire it into the end zone for 2 to make it 22-0 in favor of the Comanche. You're listening to 1570 Radio Sports.
When you use Tycon Builders for any project, no matter how big or small, they don't decide when the job is finished, you do. They won't even accept final payment for your project until you're 100% satisfied. Tycon Builders is a locally owned and operated company, so when they work on a home, they're working on the home of a neighbor, and they want to make sure their neighbors are happy. For home improvements, small or large, call Tycon Builders for a free estimate. 465-7335. Tycon Builders. Cross the bridge to quality.
Make life easy for yourself at the United Methodist Village.
With no more stairs and no more home upkeep in a spacious apartment or villa home, with no upfront endowment and just one monthly fee, you stay in control of your finances. Now that's easy and smart. Countryside living that is fun, neighborly, and only minutes from the Clark Bridge. The United Methodist Village, where living is easy.
I only wish I'd have moved here sooner.
Welcome back to Public School Stadium. Dennis Laird alongside Doug Jenkins. 22, double deuce. 22-0 in favor of the Comanches. As they kick it off, Schmidt boots it deep. And this will go into the end zone for a touchback. So the Redbirds will come out to the 20 and take it 1st and 10.
Redbirds will have a little bit of time to work with if they can work the clock effectively. Hopefully they can get down and put some points on the board before they go in for halftime. The Redbirds will get the ball to start the second half. It would be awful nice if they had some points to go along with that.
They will have 2 minutes, 38 seconds to put some points on the board.
Looking out amongst the crowd, Dennis, see a lot of current and former Redbird players just milling about from all different sports. Good to see the support of the alumni is still as strong as ever.
Redbirds on the field facing 1st down and 10 from their own 20-yard line. They'll send 3 receivers off to the left side as Williams climbs under center. Another receiver split wide right. Here's the man in motion. And I think that's Hook. He'll take the pitch and is drilled and dropped at the 15-yard line.
Hook did get dropped at the 15, and who was it? Well, number 8 again. Number 8, Jimmy Hunt.
Comanches will take a timeout after the loss on the play by the Redbirds, and we'll take one too. You're listening to 1570 Radio Sports.
When you use Tycon Builders for any project, no matter how big or small, they don't decide when the job is finished, you do. They won't even accept final payment for your project until you're 100% satisfied. Tycon Builders is a locally owned and operated company, so when they work on a home, they're working on the home of a neighbor, and they want to make sure their neighbors are happy. For home improvements, small or large, call Tycon Builders for a free estimate. 465-7335. Tycon Builders. Cross the bridge to quality.
VFW Post 1308 is a terrific place to go.
Make life easy for yourself at the United Methodist Village.
With no more stairs and no more home upkeep in a spacious apartment or villa home, with no upfront endowment and just one monthly fee, you stay in control of your finances. Now that's easy and smart. Countryside living that is fun, neighborly, and only minutes from the Clark Bridge. The United Methodist Village, where living is easy.
I only wish I'd have moved here sooner.
Pressure gets away and fires it incomplete. And that'll bring up third down. They go to the shotgun that time, and Williams hit immediately, but shook it off and was able to get that ball away.
He was able to get it away. It was in the vicinity, I say, of, I think it was Aaron Walker. Didn't quite catch the number on him, but he was in the vicinity, in the area.
Receiver splitting wide right. Another comes to the left side. Two wingbacks in the formation for the Redbirds as Williams climbs under center, facing third down and 15. Dropping back and throwing it down the sidelines, and that one is pulled in. An outstanding catch over the shoulder by number 4, Proctor, and he'll have a Redbird first down.
Proctor covered by Joshua Bell. Bell brings him down right in front of the Redbird bench. And that's the flashes that we've seen that makes me think that the Redbirds have a shot at getting back into this game in the second half.
They get a first down here out to the 42-yard line where it's first and 10 with 2:21 to go in the half. A receiver splits wide right. Williams is going to go to the shotgun. He'll have another receiver split left, two wingbacks left and right, and a straight drop back. Looking left, firing it across the middle, and it's tipped away by the Comanches, almost picked off.
Almost picked off by Joshua Bell, and all of a sudden he's getting his number called quite a bit. Bell wears number 6.
That'll bring up second down and 10 now for the Redbirds. 2:16 left to go in the half. They trail 22-0. Receiver splits wide right. Another comes to the left side for the Redbirds as Williams in the shotgun. Trying to get the Redbirds on the board before halftime. Straight drop back pressure. Now he'll run with it. He's out of the pocket and across the 45 up to about the 47-yard line, and that's going to bring up third down.
Gain of about 3 yards or so. On the tackle, number 3, Donald Collier.
Williams under center, 3rd and 5 now. And a two-step drop, tries to fire it down the sidelines, but the receiver not running that pattern, and it's incomplete. Receiver had stopped.
That was Kevin Wade, and he looks over to the bench with arms outstretched as to say, what? What was that?
So some confusion on the field, and that brings up fourth down for the Redbirds, 4th and 5. Looks like the punting unit has come onto the field.
Or will we see some trickery? I say at this point you have to play it straight.
Vaughn will stand at the Redbird 35, and now timeout on the field. Redbirds want to take a timeout with 1:50 to go before halftime. We'll take one too. You're listening to 1570 Radio Sports.
Hi, George Weber. Weber Chevrolet's year-end clearance is underway, making now a great time to save money when you buy and when you drive. Through the end of the month, we are offering the highest sales incentives of the year. And no matter what you hear in the media, believe me, our financing is still as available and aggressive as it's ever been, if not more. Combine that with our great incentives and you have the lowest payments of the year. And that's just the start of the great values at Weber Chevrolet in Granite City, Illinois. Or check us out on the web at WeberGC.com.
There's a long pass, and looks like it's going to be overthrown. Oh, the receiver dashes under the ball and makes the catch. Touchdown!
Where did he get that extra burst of speed? That off-season training really paid off.
Alton Memorial Hospital's Human Motion Institute Sports Performance helps athletes maximize their potential and improve their game. With sports performance training, you'll leap higher, run faster, and throw farther. Learn more at altonmemorialhospital.org. Human Motion Institute Sports Performance, building better athletes.
Back at Public School Stadium, 1:50 to go as Vaughn takes a snap and gets the punt off. Line drive punt that's going to roll out of bounds at about the Redbird 25-yard line. That's where the Comanches will have a minute 44 to try and put more points on the board. They're up 22-0.
22 points in the first half, and the Redbirds, they've shown flashes of potential, but have been unable to capitalize. I think they need to go to the air more. Then again, I'm not the coach, so that's just my opinion. I enjoy a good air game.
25-yard line where the Comanches start. First down and 10. They're taking their time, getting the correct personnel on the field as they now break huddle. Patrick Ivey brings his troops to the line. He'll send 3 receivers split wide left. 2 more come to the right side. So it looks like the Comanches going to try and go for some more here. Ivey firing it in the flat, completing it. That's number 1, and he'll head upfield, roll over a Redbird tackler and get it up for the first down. That was Joe Grinston on the reception of 5'8", 165-pound senior.
Aaron Walker, the first one in for the tackle, for his number 18 for the Redbirds.
From the 37, Ivey fires it to Beckley. Beckley at the 42, up to the 45, and stumbles to the 47 for another Comanche first down.
That was Trey Farrow with the tackle that time. Farrow, number 44.
Down to a minute 23 as the chains move again. Comanches at the line of scrimmage. Trips to the left, 2 to the right. Ivey, straight drop. Looking, firing, right side, completing all the way down to the Redbird 35-yard line. That time, number 3, Donald Collier, who just pulled in that last touchdown pass.
I tell you what, the Comanches seem to be able to move it at will right now. Jacoby Womack on the tackle.
From the 36, first and 10. Ivey fires it out in the flat, completing it near the 30. And the receiver spins his way across the 30 up to the 28. That'll bring up second down, completing it that time to number 3, Collier again. 3 receivers off to the left side, 2 to the right. Ivey dropping back, now rolling right, firing it up the field as a man, and that's Collier in the end zone, but covered well by the Redbirds that time.
Covered very well. In fact, Redbird had a better shot at pulling that ball down than his own player did. And I can't catch the number on him right now. I think that might be Jacoby Womack, but I'm not positive.
Third down and 3 now for the Comanches.
All right, correction on that one. That was number 30, Dontavier Thompson.
3rd and 3 from the 28-yard line. As the Comanches come to the line. They'll send 2 to the right and 2 to the left. Single back, stands by Ivey. He'll take the pitch. And it's number 1, it's Grinston getting around the end. Picking up the first down, headed down the sidelines, works his way to the 10, knocked into the end zone. Let's see if they give it to him. I think they're going to call him down before he crossed the goal line.
I think they're going to call him down. He slid for a little bit. I think they're going to bring him down somewhere around the 5.
Well, they're moving back.
He stepped out of bounds.
Stepped out of bounds near the 14.
Bit of a break for the Redbirds.
So first and 10 from the 14 as Grinston steps out of bounds on the 14. And that's where the Comanches will have it with 34 seconds to go in the half. 2 receivers left, 2 right. The wide side, the right side of the field. Ivey takes the snap and is looking right. Now rolling right. Now pressured and firing it. And Collier down there. Did he pull it in? He did catch it. And they're going to say he did pull it in. He got both feet in for the touchdown.
He was in double coverage, but this Cahokia Comanche team just has a lot of talent out there. And right now it's a 28-0 score. Why are the Comanches trying to put more points on the board? Well, if you're unfamiliar with IHSA rules, once there's a 40-point differential, the clock starts rolling, and it's a lot easier to rack up that win in timely fashion once the clock starts rolling, and won't be stopped under normal circumstances.
Cahokia up 28-0 as they try to add on another. Now flag flies. Flag against the Comanches. They'll back them up.
And Dennis, what was it, about 3 years ago, the 40-point rule went into effect?
Not exactly sure when that started.
It's fairly recent. Fairly recent.
5-yard penalty against the Comanches. And now they'll attempt the extra point. The ball going to be placed at the 15. Snap back, a good one. Schmidt with the kick, and it's through the uprights and good to make it 29-0 in favor of the Comanches. We still have 26.9 seconds on the clock. You're listening to 1570 Radio Sports.
To-do lists rarely need more to do. So, at American Family, we offer a variety of products at affordable prices with the convenience of a single agent. From auto and homeowners to business and life insurance. This is Gerard Fisher with American Family Insurance. Give me a call at 466-7062.
American Family Insurance.
Supplier Pricing Plus at the East Side's newest and one of the largest Chevy dealerships, Jack Schmidt Chevy of Wood River, with 14 acres of selection and more selection. Now all with Supplier Pricing Plus. Save $8,165 on a new 09 half-ton Silverado. A new 09 Malibu LS, just $18,600. Hit the road with Jack Schmidt, with over 14 acres of service, selection, and savings.
Hit the road with Jack.
Jack Schmidt Chevy,
Jack Schmidt.
Wood River, Illinois.
Left in the half as Schmidt kicks off to the Redbirds. Looks like Womack going to try and run that down and will pick it up at about the 3-yard line, and he is in trouble and will get to about the 5 where he stopped there.
It looked like the Redbirds were counting on the ball, continuing to roll into the end zone for a touchback, but the ball just died at about the 5-yard line, and they had really no chance of doing anything at that point. So we'll see if they can get into the locker room without any more damage and try and regroup.
I was just thinking to myself, I wouldn't be surprised to see the Redbirds just take a knee here this deep in their own end, facing 1st and 10 from the 4-yard line. Only 20 seconds to go in the half.
Sounds like a plan.
Marching 100 waiting to come onto the field. Always a treat if you've not been out to a Alton Redbirds football game recently or ever. You are certainly missing a great performing group in the Marching 100.
Williams under center will hand it off up the middle to the fullback, who will pick up a few yards, and that'll bring up 2nd down, but the clock going to run out unless the Redbirds call the timeout. Clock down to 5 seconds, and that's going to be it.
That should do it.
That will bring the first half to an end with the Comanches leading the Alton Redbirds 29-0 at halftime. You're listening to 1570 Radio Sports.
RiverBender.com's live coverage of today's game is brought to you by Jack Schmidt Chevrolet, the #1 GM certified dealer in Southern Illinois. Olin Community Credit Union, exceeding member expectations since 1934. Tycon Builders, 25 years of quality construction services. Alton Memorial Hospital, the best health care close to home. United Methodist Village, where living is easy. Tom Lane State Farm, your good neighbor agent in the Riverbend. Roberts Ford, the value store since 1949. Weber Granite City Chevrolet, Buy American. Gerard Fisher, American Family Insurance, all your protection under one roof.
Alton High School Marching 100. You may take the field in exhibition. High School for the Belleville East Marching Invitational into O'Fallon Township High School for the Metro East Marching Competition. Good luck to the Alton Marching 100.
Life is busy, and that's a good thing. Olin Community Credit Union helps me keep up with convenient checking services like free online banking and bill pay, 5 area locations, and free ATMs. They even provide extra deposit insurance to keep my money safe and sound. I know I can count on them, and that helps me give 100% to the people who are counting on me. Call Olin Community Credit Union today or visit them online at olincreditunion.org. Trust me, you'll be glad you did.
What do I have to do to sell you a car?
Roberts Motors, easy to get to, just off Highway 67 or Highway 3 in Alton.
Welcome back to Public School Stadium. Dennis Lair alongside Doug Jenkins. We're just about ready to start quarter number 3 with the Redbirds trailing to the Comanches 29-0.
The Redbirds have broken huddle down there, and they'll take their position either on the field or along the sidelines. Cahokia doing the same thing. I'd like to thank the hosts here at Alton High School, the staff for making our stay here so enjoyable with plenty of information on both sides of the coin, both the Redbirds and Cahokia, and also their generosity with the spread. Great pizza and soda provided for us here tonight, and a big thank you to the staff at Alton High.
Now you're getting down to the brass tacks.
Exactly.
The pizza.
If you have hungry announcers, well, you don't want to have hungry announcers.
That's right. And so the Redbirds will receive to start the second half. They kicked off to start this ball game, and they will start with the football here in the second half. And they need to put some points on the board right away and get some momentum back on their side. Trailing 29-0.
They certainly will, and or they certainly do. And Cahokia is taking their time getting back out onto the field. Alton ready to go.
Redbirds and a couple of return men back deep, including Womack and Proctor, who will stand at about his 5. Womack now will back up to the 5. They're on the left and right hash marks, waiting on the kickoff from Schmid, Brad Schmid of the Cahokia Comanches. 12 up on the clock. We're just about ready to start quarter number 3, the second half here from Public School Stadium. East Alton Wood River Oiler football comes up next here on Z1570 as they travel to Litchfield tonight. Schmid ready, and here comes the kick from the Comanches. A high kick, a short kick that's fielded by an up man. Nope, dropped by an up man. And now picked up and then tackled at the 20 is the Redbird return man.
The up man was dropped, and it was a tackle by number 68, Terrell Irvin for the Cahokia Comanches.
Number 12 on the return for the Redbirds is Lewis McCain. The Redbirds start 1st and 10 from the 22-yard line. They will line up, double tie, double wing fullback directly behind the quarterback. Williams under center sends Womack in motion. And the handoff will go up the middle to the fullback and nowhere to go.
Nothing doing there. He's tackled by a host of Comanches. I'm asking myself right now what happened to the surge that we saw twice in that first series of the ball game. It netted about 4 yards each time.
It's like Womack getting up slowly for the Redbirds and hobbling off the field.
Womack favoring his right ankle, right calf, something like that. And that'd be a tough deal because Womack has been a bright spot for the Redbirds tonight.
McCain in there now, and there's a reverse. Back to Hook, and Hook with nowhere to go. Stopped at the 20. They pitched it to McCain, then handed off to Hook, and he's hit immediately.
Not much of a gain, if anything.
Sets up third down and 11 now for the Redbirds as Williams over to the sideline to get the play.
Well, Cahokia so far is doing a good job of doing what they were doing well at the end of the first half, and that is stifling the Alton High offense.
Williams facing third and 11 and rolling out to the right. In trouble, fires it back across the middle with nobody there. No receiver around at all, and that's incomplete.
That'll bring up 4th and 12. So the punting unit will come on for the Redbirds.
Redbirds struggle in their first series here in the second half, and they'll have to punt it away. On to do the kicking will be Vaughn.
And the deep men line up at their own 45-yard line, thereabouts. So they're going to have some pretty good field position to start this next drive.
Taylor Vaughn will kick it away from his own 14. Punt that will sail out of bounds shy of the 50-yard line. We'll see where they mark this one. But the Comanche is going to start in Redbird territory near the Redbird 45. Looks like they're going to mark it shy of the 45 at about the 46-yard line, but Comanches once again with outstanding field position.
You know, they start in Redbird territory, and you know, as a coach, you can't ask for any more than to start in the opponent's half. And Cahokia has certainly had its share of good field position tonight.
4 receivers in the set as Ivey back to the shotgun for the Comanches. Stands in his own territory, drops back to the 45, now sprinting forward, lets it fly downfield as Schmidt, who slipped and fell, and I believe was still able to catch that football.
As luck would have it, he slips and he falls, and he's flat on his rear end, and the ball goes right to him, and he catches it sitting down.
And fortunate for the Redbirds, because nobody around him, he'd have trotted into the end zone untouched.
He would have trotted in, just like one of those horses in the World Trotting Derby coming up this weekend at the DuQuoin Fairgrounds.
One of them fancy horses, right? Not having to run very hard at all.
Exactly, they just trot, trot, trot.
2 receivers left, 2 to the right as Ivey waits in the shotgun near the 25. High snap, he tips it now, brings it down. Rolling right, looking downfield, going to tuck it in and run. At the 15, still on his feet, sprinting out to the sidelines now at the 10. Will head to the end zone and into the end zone, but a flag flies. I believe we're going to have an illegal block of some sort. The flag back near the 30-yard line.
Yeah, it happened way in the backfield, so the Redbirds may be able to catch a break off of this.
Flag on the field, and we'll see what the penalty is here. This one's coming back. I believe it's a clip. Holding against the Comanches.
So they'll mark it off from the point of the infraction, which will march them back
to near the 40-yard line.
The 40-yard line, yeah.
Setting up a first down in forever. They've got to get down inside the 10-yard line to get a first down.
But you know, the Comanches have been able to do that very thing on several occasions tonight.
This Comanche offense just getting better and better as the night goes along. They made several mistakes early on in this ball game, and now starting to settle down a bit and really move the football. Trips to the left, single receiver to the right side as Ivey looks left, throws it out there to Schmidt. Schmidt at the 40 hit and lunges forward to about the 38-yard line, and that'll bring up second down.
Good coverage that time by the Redbirds. A host of red there to bring him down. Bring down the Cahokia. In on the tackle is number 90. That is James Lampley, a 5'10", 170-pound junior.
Ball down to the 39-yard line. Second down and 30. Coming up for the Comanches. Ivey waits in the shotgun near the Redbird 45. Looking downfield, firing it and completing it at the 30. Spinning around and moving forward a bit is the receiver as he'll get to about the 27-yard line.
Aaron Walker and Trey Farrow both in on that tackle. We'll give them both credit for the Redbirds.
Collier with the reception for the Comanches. He has 2 touchdowns tonight. 8:44 on the clock. Third down and long. 3rd and 20. As Ivey lets it fly, has a man downfield, and the Redbirds get down there, and a flag is going to fly. I think pass interference is going to be called against the Redbirds here.
I'm feeling pass interference. There was contact before the ball got there. They both were going for the football, but I think the Redbird defender, and I did not catch the number, jumped just a little bit too quick and made contact.
That ball, receiver wide open. That ball floated out there by Ivey as he put some arch on it. That ball hanging up there like that gave the Redbird defender a chance to run back and cover the receiver, but he ran straight into the receiver, not allowing that receiver to get a chance to catch the football. And pass interference called, and they'll move the football down and give the Comanches a first down as they move it inside the 15 to the 14-yard line. 1st and 10 from the 14. Here's Ivey looking now, pressured and in trouble. Going to be sacked back behind the 15 at about the 16-yard line.
About 5 Redbirds on that tackle. First one in, though, to hinder him. Comes up a little bit gimp, it looked like, and that's number 69, Mitch Cochran.
2nd down and 11 now coming up.
Cochran shakes it off. He'll stay in the game.
For the Comanches. Receivers come out to the right side. 2 of them there. 3 go off to the left. No, actually only 2 going that way as the back will stay in the backfield with Ivey, who takes the snap from shotgun and fires it out, completing it at the 10 to Collier, breaks a tackle and trots into the end zone. Another touchdown for Collier, his 3rd tonight.
3rd one tonight, and that'll make the score 35-0.
Collier, Ivey to Collier again for the 3rd consecutive time, and the score 35-0. In favor of the Comanches as they'll try and tack on another.
The Redbirds secondary getting beat badly this evening.
We talked about it early in this ball game. We've seen several passes dropped by wide open receivers, and we mentioned then that we thought the Redbirds were going to have to do something to tighten up the coverage, and this Ivey, with the way he throws the football, is starting to really pick them apart here late in the 2nd quarter, and now starting the 2nd half. Snap goes to Schmidt. Schmidt going to try and run it, and he is stopped at the 5-yard line. So the PAT fails, and the score remains 35-0 in favor of the Comanches. You're listening to 1570 Radio Sports.
So we'll retire to the mountains.
Oh, but I love the ocean.
There are places you want to get to in life, like retirement. And now your State Farm agent can help guide you with the free State Farm Insurance and Financial Review to prioritize your needs and help you plan a roadmap for your financial future.
Come on, nothing beats pine trees.
Except for palm trees.
Call and schedule yours today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Contact Tom Lane to lay out your roadmap to retirement today at 377-8912 across from Gino's 140 Club in Bethalto.
When you use Tycon Builders for any project, no matter how big or small, they don't decide when the job is finished, you do. They won't even accept final payment for your project until you're 100% satisfied. Tycon Builders is a locally owned and operated company, so when they work on a home, they're working on the home of a neighbor. and they want to make sure their neighbors are happy. For home improvements, small or large, call Tycon Builders for a free estimate. 465-7335. Tycon Builders. Cross the bridge to quality.
Welcome back to Public School Stadium. Dennis Laird alongside Doug Jenkins. And it's 35-0 now in favor of the Comanches. As they kick it away, fielded by the up man for the Redbirds. Hook at the 15. He's to the 20, across the 25, and stopped at the 29.
Ran into his own man. He might have gotten another 5 yards out of it, but ran into another player with red on. That'll bring him down, but nice return. That'll get him started at the 30-yard line. A little bit of breathing room this time to get things rolling. Can the Redbirds put some points on the board? It's a must at this point, because the next time Cahokia scores, if the Redbirds haven't yet, the clock starts rolling.
And the way the Comanches have been running the offense, that's fairly easy for them right now. Redbirds double tight, double wing, and Williams is going to hand it off to the fullback, who will work his way to the 35 to the 36-yard line.
On the tackle for Cahokia is number 32, Rodney Scott. And 26, Joaquin Jackson. So it's a 7-yard gain, a 7-yard pickup. That makes it 3 yards to go, 3rd down and 3. Second down and 3, I'm sorry.
Double tight, double wing again. 2nd down and 3. Here's Williams, going to run the option. He'll turn it upfield, and he'll pick up a Redbird 1st down across the 40.
Moving the ball, that's good progress,
Redbirds move the chains, and that takes the clock down to 6:53.
Well, another thing the Redbirds would like to do is put some points on the board to get the crowd back into the game, as the faithful seem to be losing a little bit of their spark right now.
Receiver split wide left, another one to the right now, movement up front. Left tackle jumping off sides for the Redbirds.
A former Redbird showed up on the Shaq versus Albert Pujols episode this past week on television, Dennis.
Really? Tell me about it.
Well, he was not an athlete, but he was an Alton High School student. Albert Pujols does a lot of work with the Down syndrome children. Albert has a daughter with Down syndrome. And wanted to just recognize Aaron Hansen, the redhead that was talking to Shaquille O'Neal during the restaurant scene at during the Shaq versus Albert Pujols episode.
1st and 15. Here's the counter inside, and I think that's Womack. He'll work his way out to near the original line. Nope, that's Hook. He'll work his way to the original line of scrimmage around the 40-yard line. Going to set up 2nd down and 10.
2nd down and 11 for the Redbirds.
Say next time you see Aaron, he's a celebrity.
And much shorter than Pujols and Shaq.
I tell you what, I watched Shaq standing next to Pujols. Pujols and me are about the same height, and he just dwarfed Albert.
I bet. Shaq doing some wrestling this year as well.
So I hear.
Dropping back is Williams, firing it downfield and completing it. An outstanding leaping catch by the Redbird receiver near the Cahokia Comanche 45-yard line.
Kevin Wade with a lot of elevation on that. That's the kind of plays that they need to be pulling more often, because they've just proven they can do it. And I don't think Cahokia was counting on anything like that. That could I don't know if it'll turn the tides, but it'll certainly couldn't hurt.
Redbirds receivers split left and right. And motion is McCain, and he'll take the handoff. McCain in trouble near the 40 and going to be piled on there.
About 5 different Comanches coming in on the tackle there. Might have gotten back to the line of scrimmage.
2nd and 11 now coming up for the Redbirds. There's a loss of 1 on the play.
Dennis, remind me to bring my binoculars next week.
We'll probably be closer wherever we're at.
Definitely.
But I'll remind you.
All right. Or my periscope. Magnified.
Receivers split left and right. Williams dropping back, firing it across the middle, and it's tipped and incomplete, and that'll bring up third down.
Third down and 11. Heavy coverage, and Jimmy Hunt again right there in the mix for Cahokia.
So third down for the Redbirds from their own 41-yard line. .35 on the clock. Third quarter action. Redbirds trying to get on the board, down 35-0. Facing third and 11. They'll send a receiver split wide right. Wade comes to the left side. Here's Williams under center. Comanches show blitz, and Williams going to run the option. The pitch to Hook. He's across the 40 and knocked down at about the 38-yard line. Gain of about 2 or 3, and that's going to bring up fourth down.
Big hit by the Comanches. DeMaco Broden and Joshua Bell both in on the tackle, and that just leveled Hook right in front of the bench. So after a short gain, the Redbirds will more than likely kick it away. Then again, when you're down by 35 points, would you try a little razzle-dazzle and see if you can maybe fool the Comanches and try and pick up first down on a trick play?
When it comes to that question, I say, when you're down 35-0, what do you have to lose?
Exactly.
And I like eggs, too. Right?
Eggs.
Right.
Exactly.
I got you.
Thank you.
Oh, some movement up front by the Comanches, and there's you just draw them off sides. When you do that twice, you get a first down.
Unless the refs notice you draw them off sides, and we'll have to see which way they march the ball.
They march this one off against the Comanches, setting up a fourth down and 3 situation. That's somewhat razzle-dazzly.
Somewhat, yes.
Not quite what you were thinking, though. You were thinking like triple reverse, flea flicker, or something like that, right?
Exactly. Something with a little more pizzazz. But hey, when you're down by 35, you take what you can get.
Redbirds will send a receiver split wide right. Wade comes to the left side, and they'll line the 2 wingbacks up left and right. Hook on the right, and McCain in motion from the left side. And Williams going to fake it to the fullback and then lunge forward out to the 30-yard line. He's close to a first down.
He got really close to the first down. And you know what? It wasn't until late in the first quarter that we got our first score on the board. If Cahokia could put 35 points on the board in this amount of time, no reason why the Alton Redbirds couldn't do the same thing. This could be the start of a rally.
Well, you remember last week, we were in Bethalto. It was 35-7, and that turned into a ball game in the fourth quarter.
It turned into a one-score ball game, and a matter of 2 inches could have swung the pendulum entirely the other direction. So you never say never in this game.
But you will say that Williams did not get enough for the first down, and now the Comanches have the football 1st and 10.
This could very well be a drive that changed the entire tone of the game.
Ivey waits in the shotgun, will hand it off. And here's Ginston with the football, and it will work his way to about the 35.
Brought down by a host of Redbirds, including number 91, Eric Weaver.
Grinston with the carry. Joe Grinston, 5'8", 165-pound senior, picks up about 5. They'll give him 4. And it's 2nd down and 6 now for the Comanches. They'll send 2 receivers to the left side, 2 to the right. Ivey from the shotgun waits at the 30. And will fake it and roll left. Firing it out there to Schmidt, who catches it and is knocked down near the first down marker right about the 41-yard line with 2:22 left to go, third quarter.
Brought down by Reggie Carson on the far side.
They will give them the first down and move the chains. Setting up 1st and 10 from the 41-yard line for the Comanches. Still in their own territory with 2:11 on the clock.
Now they've got the change moved, and the clock starts once again.
Clock down to 2 minutes.
2 minutes to go in the third quarter. We still have another quarter of action coming up after this.
2 receivers left, 2 right. Ivey from the shotgun. will throw it out in the flat to Grinston. Grinston hammered immediately and dropped for a big loss. A loss of about 3 or 4 on the play.
And on that takedown was Xavier Triplett, number 13. And I believe that was also Anthony Brownlee, or was it Trey Farrell? We'll call him Brownlee.
Receiver is to the left, to the right side. Second down and 14, and now a flag flies on the sideline. The line judge with the flag. So a false start against the Comanches, so they'll back them up another 5. That'll set up second down and 19.
But the last time the Comanches had about 20 yards to go for a first down, they pulled off a big play, so the Redbirds need to keep that in mind.
Here's Ivey dropping back, looking down the field and firing this one deep. Has a man down there, and a huge collision and pass interference. Going to be called again against the Redbirds, and that was a blatant pass interference.
Yeah, he just flattened him. I can't really think of any other way to say it.
Put his head down. The receiver was about 5 yards behind him, and the defender just put his head down and basically tackled him before he even had a chance to make the catch. The flag flies immediately.
Apparently his timing was just a touch off.
But once again, the arm of Ivey on display here. That ball traveled about 50 yards down the field.
And again, it didn't even look like he was putting any effort into it. I mean, he just leisurely, he's got a beautiful fluid motion when he throws the ball.
And if you're the Redbird defender, that ball's a touchdown if you don't make the pass interference play.
So that may have been a good move. Somebody's still down there.
I think that was the defender for the Redbirds on the play. Looked like he was grabbing his leg. It looks like they're working on his leg. So we'll take a timeout with 1:09 to go here in the third quarter. Injured player on the field. We'll let you know who that is when we come back. 35-0 in favor of the Comanches. You're listening to 1570 Radio Sports.
Make life easy for yourself at the United Methodist Village.
With no more stairs and no more home upkeep in a spacious apartment or villa home, with no upfront endowment and just one monthly fee, you stay in control of your finances. Now that's easy and smart. Countryside living that is fun, neighborly, and only minutes from the Clark Bridge. The United Methodist Village, where living is easy.
I only wish I'd have moved here sooner.
Hi, George Weber. Weber Chevrolet's year-end clearance is underway, making now a great time to save money when you buy and when you drive. Through the end of the month, we are offering the highest sales incentives of the year. And no matter what you hear in the media, believe me, our financing is still as available and aggressive as it's ever been, if not more. Combine that with our great incentives and you have the lowest payments of the year. And that's just the start of the great values at Weber Chevrolet in Granite City, Illinois. Or check us out on the web at WeberGC.com.
First down and 10 coming up for the Comanches. Ball at the Cahokia 47-yard line. And Doug, the injured player, you had it figured out, possibly?
Last name is Moore. I don't have him on my score sheet, but there was a number change, so as I've been calling Cody Calvert's name all night long, is actually Moore.
All right.
Cody Calvert is number 34.
So there you go. First down and 10 from the 47 for the Comanches from the shotgun. Ivey looking downfield, now rolling right, firing it, and has a man open again, and that's Collier. Collier at the 20, still on his feet. 15-yard line, scrambling to the 10, to the 5, and down to the 3-yard line, and an outstanding run after the catch by Collier, looking for his 4th touchdown of the night.
And you can see if you're here at the stadium listening to us right now, you can see the frustration on the field right now, because none of the Redbirds out there are happy about what's going on. They were there, they were in position to make the tackles, but the Comanches are just shedding them like they're not even there.
43-yard pass play sets up first and goal from the 4. And Ivey going to roll left. Ivey flipping it out there, has a man, and it's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, and that is Schmid with the reception. Brad Schmid to make it 41-0 in favor of the Comanches.
And now we'll see if it's a single point after attempt on the kick, or if they try for the 2-point conversion. In either case, we have hit the 40-point rule. So from here on out, the clock will continue to run from here until the end of the ball game.
And Schmid now on to attempt the extra point. 6 touchdown passes for Patrick Ivey tonight. Schmid trying to make it a 42-0 ball game. Here's a snap, the kick on the way, a line drive kick, and this one's good as it squeezes over the upright. And that makes the score 42-0 in favor of the Comanches. You're listening to 1570 Radio Sports.
There's a long pass. It looks like it's going to be overthrown. Oh, the receiver dashes under the ball and makes the catch. Touchdown! Where did he get that extra burst of speed? That off-season training really paid off.
Alton Memorial Hospital's Human Motion Institute Sports Performance helps athletes maximize their potential and improve their game. With sports performance training, you'll leap higher, run faster, and throw farther. Learn more at altonmemorialhospital.org. Human Motion Institute Sports Performance, building better athletes.
The more your life changes, the more your insurance needs change. I'm Gerard Fisher of American Family Insurance. In just minutes, I can conduct a free personal insurance review to help you determine how much and what type of coverage is right for you, with no costly gaps or overlaps. Interested? Call me, Gerard Fisher of American Family Insurance, today at 466-7062.
American Family Insurance.
Still in the third quarter, 41.8 seconds on the clock as the Comanches get set to kick it away to the Redbirds, leading 42-0. Schmid gets under this one, kicks it high, and it's going to be fielded at about the 20. And it's McCain with it, and he has nowhere to go but straight out of bounds, knocked out of bounds at about the 23.
Under normal circumstances, the clock would stop, but since there's the 40-point rule now in effect, it continues to run, and it's at 25 seconds and counting, even as the chains are being put into position, the offense and defense are coming onto the field, and that's pretty much how it's going to be for the remainder of this ball game.
Clock will roll down here, and they probably won't even get a playoff here in the fourth quarter. Will begin before the Redbirds can snap the football, I believe. Down to 2 seconds. Redbirds will get a snap off and the handoff right up the gut. As the clock runs down, the fullback, though, pounds his way out across the 30 to about the 31-yard line, and the Redbirds will have second down and short as the fourth quarter begins. We'll be back with the fourth quarter after this. Redbirds trailing 42-0. You're listening to 1570 Radio Sports.
Supplier Pricing Plus at the East Side's newest and one of the largest Chevy dealerships, Jack Schmidt Chevy of Wood River, with 14 acres of selection and more selection. Now all with Supplier Pricing Plus. Save $8,165 on a new 09 half-ton Silverado. A new 09 Malibu LS, just $18,600. Hit the road with Jack Schmidt, with over 14 acres of service, selection, and savings. Hit the road with Jack Schmidt Chevy. Jack Schmidt. Wood River, Illinois.
Life is busy, and that's a good thing. Olin Community Credit Union helps me keep up with convenient checking services like free online banking and bill pay, 5 area locations, and free ATMs. They even provide extra deposit insurance to keep my money safe and sound. I know I can count on them, and that helps me give 100% to the people who are counting on me. Call Olin Community Credit Union today or visit them online at olincreditunion.org. Trust me, you'll be glad you did.
42-0 in favor of the Comanches.
42 points on the scoreboard for Cahokia, and Alton has been unable to break the plane tonight.
And now they'll have to deal with the clock running continuously. Here's a pass, low and incomplete. And that'll bring up second down and 10. And the clock will roll.
Coming up in just about, what would you say, maybe 20 minutes or so?
Goes pretty quick with the continuous clock.
It certainly does. We're looking at about 20 minutes till East Alton Wood River High School Oiler football tonight.
I'm going to make a mark and see how close you are on that one.
All right, we'll check it at the end.
Okay. That would take 9:20, roughly.
9:20.
If you're correct.
That's what we're aiming for, 9:20?
Does that include billboards?
No, let's include billboards in that too.
Okay, here's flags flying, illegal motion against the Redbirds. Will back them up and set up second down and 5, and the clock down to 11 minutes. So second and 15 now for the Redbirds. Williams over to the sideline, and he'll get the play and bring it back to the huddle.
I'll tell you what, no matter how many points are going on the scoreboard for which team, there have been some very faithful Alton Redbirds fans sticking around tonight, and there are still some folks out here who are whooping it up down there in front.
Williams under center sends McCain in motion, and the snap bobbled, and I think Williams got back on top of it to bring up third down.
Third down it will be.
Redbirds need to get on the board. Find something positive here tonight with this offense. Only 7 points last week for the Redbirds.
On the bright side, the St. Louis Rams had quite the successful preseason, Dennis.
I'm not getting excited, Doug.
Well, that is only preseason, I know, but...
Here's Williams dropping back, firing it down the sidelines, and intercepted by Collier. Collier picks it off at his own 40, and he's headed back the other way to the 50 and into Redbird territory to the 40. A flag flying way back upfield near the 25. So the Comanches get the football back. Let me tell you something about the Rams, Doug, that I noticed.
What have you noticed about the Rams?
I've seen 2 billboards in the Riverbend area advertising for the Chicago Bears.
Really?
Now, there are no Cub billboards in the area. So that tells you how good the Cardinals are.
True.
I find it ironic that there are Bear billboards in town. So maybe the Bears are the team to root for, huh?
Boy, they don't have the Super Bowl shuffle.
Well, that's true. I remember that 1985 with the fridge.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a Bears fan, by the way. I just find it ironic that there are billboards in town.
Now, where have you seen these? I'm going to have to take a drive.
There's one on 140 headed towards Bethalto coming out of Alton. I believe it's a certain beverage that goes along with the Bears.
Oh, okay.
Here's a snap back and a handoff to Scott. Scott at the 50-yard line works his way to the 45 where he stopped there. And it'll be second down and 3. Rodney Scott with a carry that time for the Comanches. Clock down to 8:20.
Jacoby Womack getting another tackle to his credit. So what you're saying is these beverage makers are choosing the in-state Illinois team over the closer but on the other side of the river football team.
I find that very ironic. Here's a snap back and a pitch to Scott. The ball loose again, but the Comanche is able to jump on this one. Terrible pitch that time from the backup quarterback for the Comanches. And Redbirds almost come with that football, but Comanche is able to pounce on it around the 44.
That's one of the few things the Comanches have not done to perfection in this second half. But they had to get Ivey out of there because the game is, let's face it, out of reach right now, and he is their bread and butter. Got to protect him for next week.
Ivey's still the quarterback, technically. Lamontez Ivey now. Fakes it to Scott. Now pitches it to Scott. Scott with nowhere to go, but breaks free. Scott's still on his feet and finds his way to the 45-yard line.
A host of Redbirds out there on the tackle, including number 22, Tevin Causey.
7 minutes on the clock now. 4th and 13 coming up for the Comanches.
And boy, that clock sure runs quickly. This is the first time I've had a chance to be at a game with the 40-point rule in effect in quite some time. And once you're used to a certain way of doing things, it's a bit awkward to see it done the other way.
Feeling nervous about your 9:20 time?
I am.
Here's Ivey throwing it downfield and completing it for the first down across the 40-yard line. Looks like number 12 on the reception would be Monty Beverly.
And on the tackle by Triplett. Triplett in on the tackle. Xavier Triplett. Where's number 13?
Comanches hustle up to the line with 6 minutes to go in the ballgame. Patrick Ivey now, the quarterback for the Comanches, and he will pitch it to Scott. Scott will head back the other way, and he is stopped and dropped for a loss.
Dropped right in the middle of the Redbird mascot there in the middle of the field. Cowsey on the tackle once again, number 22.
Scott out of the ball game now as Joe Grinston in. Clock down to 5.5 minutes left to go in this one.
Don't forget Sports Talk is on tomorrow morning at 11 o'clock. Brent Berkland will talk it over with all the newsmakers from tonight's football action.
We'll be on in the morning too, right?
Indeed we will, beginning at 6 a.m.
Here's a handoff inside. Grinston with it this time, and he'll work his way across the 45, still on his feet at the 40, works his way all the way down to the 30-yard line, and has another Comanche first down. Grinston would not go down.
Nice run, with about 15-yard pickup, thereabouts.
Another Comanche first down.
And the clock continues to run, 4 minutes and 45 seconds to go.
The Comanches come to the line. Looks like Scott back in there now. Patrick Ivey will hand it to him. There's Scott working his way to the right side, bottled up, but fights forward all the way down to near the 20. 4:20 left to go in the ball game. Second down and 6 coming up now for the Comanches.
Second and 6. The stands are starting to empty out just a little bit now, Dennis.
That'll make it easier for us to get out of here.
Yes, it will.
Here's the pitch to Grinston again. Grinston works his way to about the 22 and stop there. Loss on the play.
You mentioned you and I will be back on the air tomorrow morning.
That's right, I just remembered that.
Saturday morning comedy show.
The garage sale pregame show.
What do we have in store for tomorrow's comedy?
We'll find out when we get there in the morning.
Are you not going to spill the beans?
I have no beans to spill. You know me, I'm on the fly.
There you go.
Just have to get in and take a look at the comedy bits and choose. Main thing is we got to get that garage sale on the air at 9. Trips to the right as Ivy takes a snap and hands it off inside to Scott, who has nowhere to go. Stopped, and that'll bring up 4th down. Don't forget what your bid. 10 o'clock. That's big time.
From 10 till 11. I'll be co-hosting that tomorrow morning with Mark Hilgert.
You're just all Big Z tonight and tomorrow.
I've been off so long, I want to get back in practice.
I see.
Okay, appreciate that.
Looks like we have timeout on the field.
That will stop the clock at 2:42. Comanches leading the Alton Redbirds 42-0. We'll take a break and be back after this. You're listening to 1570 Radio Sports.
But when you're in foreign territory, it makes it even that much tougher.
Looks like the Comanches going to set up for a field goal here. Schmidt on to attempt it. 40-yard field goal attempt to Brad Schmidt. He'll try to make it 45-0 now. The Comanches have changed their mind, it looks like. Nope. They're going to say false start against the Comanches, and that will make it a 45-yard field goal attempt.
A bit confusing. I did not realize they were even set for the play. So apparently the ref saw something down there that we didn't see up here, which has been known to happen.
Brad Schmidt will try it from 45 yards out.
Let's see what kind of boot he's got.
Had one blocked in the first quarter from about the same distance. Low snap. They get it down, though. Schmidt with the boot. Kick is on the way, and it's no good. Had the distance, but just a little bit wide left.
Probably could have made it for another 10 yards out had it been on line, but that was not the case.
So, score remains 42-0, and the clock rolls.
Clock does roll as both teams trade sides, or trade responsibilities, I should say. The ball changes hands. Possession. So Alton will set up on offense. We're at 2 minutes to go now. 2 minutes to go in the ball game.
1st and 10, Redbirds. From the shotgun, Williams waits on the snap. And a straight drop back. And pressured and dropped. Dropped back near the 10 at about the 12-yard line, and he was hit hard as he gets up slow.
He was hit hard. He evaded one tackler, but Joe Grinston, number 1. First time we've called his name tonight.
On the blitz and sacking the quarterback Williams to take the clock down to 1:20 as Williams over to the sideline now trots back toward the huddle. Not moving very quickly.
No, at this point he's pretty well worn out. Pretty well worn out.
Tough game for the Redbirds tonight. Williams under center this time with a minute to go. Man in motion, they hand it off to the fullback right up the gut. And he drags a couple of tacklers with him up to about the 15-yard line.
Let's call number 13, Antonio Beverly, on the tackle that time for Cahokia.
William Lewis on the carry for the Redbirds. 40 seconds to play and ticking. Redbirds may get another play off, but they seem to be just taking their time as it's down to 27 seconds now as Williams just gets back to the huddle. 20 seconds as the Redbirds come to the line. They're going to follow the Comanches 42-0 tonight here at Public School Stadium. Ball snapped with 10 seconds to go and handed off. Nowhere to go for Lewis. And that will be the final play of this ball game. The Comanches defeat the Alton Redbirds 42-0. And we'll be back to wrap it up after this. You're listening to 1570 Radio Sports.
If you haven't driven a Ford, drive one. You'll be surprised.
Drive green in the 09 Ford Focus. All new design, up to 35 miles per gallon, and it talks. Drive smart in the 09 Fusion, a Consumer Digest Best Buy. Drive safe in the Ford Escape, equipped with roll stability control and Ford's personal safety system. Drive quality in the 09 Edge, voted the most appealing midsize CUV by J.D. Power. Come in today and drive one. Roberts Motors, easy to get to, just off Highway 67 or Highway 3 in Alton.
Your kids now have kids of their own. I'm State Farm Agent Tom Lane. With just a simple gift, your grandchildren may experience a lifetime of life insurance. Give me a call at 377-8912 in Bethalto to discuss the many options that are available to provide your grandchildren with a gift of life. For great products and service that are available 7 days a week, 24 hours a day, call me, Tom Lane, at 377-8912.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Dennis Laird alongside Doug Jenkins. This one in the books. The Comanches defeat the Alton Redbirds 42-0. They led 29-0 at halftime and added 2 more touchdown passes from Ivey, hitting Collier at the 7:43 mark of the third quarter, and then hitting Schmidt with 41 seconds left to play in that third quarter. The final score, 42-0 in favor of the Comanches.
The Alton Redbirds came out and they had some things going well for them in the first half, although both teams were having a little bit of trouble getting a handle on the ball. It was late in the first quarter when the first points went up on the board, but after that the floodgates opened and the Redbirds just couldn't get anything going. Tough start for the Redbirds. They're now 0-2 on the season, and they dropped their home opener.
6 touchdown passes for Patrick Ivey tonight for the Comanches, and they rout the Alton Redbirds 42-0.